Understanding what happens legally at the end of life can be complex, and having the proper documents in place now can be critical. So let's bring in our legal expert, Danielle Mayor, is joining us today to help break down some of these popular myths. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's get right into it. One of the myths that is pretty popular, the idea is if I have a living will, it covers my end of life wishes. Is that true?
It's true in a lot of other states,
Okay.
but unfortunately it's not true in Michigan. In Michigan, we don't legally recognize living wills. We instead use a document called a patient advocate designation. So if you have a living will, your family can use it like as a reference or guide, but it's not legally binding.
Okay, good to know. That's
Yeah.
great information. Another one, I told my family my wishes so they can take care of them. Is that something that a family can do?
Just like a lot of things in the law, it's not enough for us to tell someone what we want. We actually have to put it in writing.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about
Yes.
that before. And so you need to have it in writing through that properly drafted and properly executed patient advocate designation.
Okay.
And if you don't, you have to go through the probate court and seek a guardianship. But what's interesting is there actually was just recently a bill introduced into the House in Michigan, and it's asking for next of kin to be able to make these decisions even if there isn't a document in place. So that might change in the months to come. We'll see.
Do you see that as a positive thing, or do you see it causing some complications?
That's actually a great question. There's really pros and cons because sometimes we may not want our next of kin to make those decisions.
Yeah.
Maybe there's, we're having issues in our marriage and our spouse is our next of kin. Maybe that person really won't be able to emotionally carry out our wishes. But on the other hand, it is a positive because people are going through so much dealing with these issues.
Yeah.
It would make it easier in some ways.
Okay. All right, Danielle, we'll get another one coming up. My doctors will follow my wishes for all of the documents, and they are the same. Is that something that can happen? The doctor taking care of it?
So basically, that myth is that all patient advocate designations are created the same.
Okay.
And that your doctor is going to follow your wishes no matter what. The problem is documents are drafted by attorneys. And so you may not have provisions in your document that would allow your doctor to follow your wishes. For example, do you want your loved one to sign a do not resuscitate order? If it's not in the document, the doctor can't follow your wishes. Do you want your loved one to be able to withdraw life support? That also has to be addressed in the document. So it's not like a one size fits all.
Yeah.
You really need to work with an attorney, talk to them about what you want, and make sure your patient advocate can carry out your wishes, as can the doctor.
I feel like that's the common theme here. It's not a one size fits all.
Absolutely.
All right, let's try and get in one more. If I have a will or medical durable power of attorney, I'm all set.
Well, wills, as we've talked about before, are dealing with distribution of assets. And so many people, when they come into the office, they think a will is just all they need when it comes to estate planning. A will has nothing to do with end-of-life decisions. And because we use a patient advocate designation in Michigan, if you have a healthcare power of attorney, it may or may not be okay. It's really not the title of the document, it's how the document's drafted, because you have to have a document that allows your patient advocate to sign it and follow all the statutory guidelines. So make sure, once again, it's always about working with an expert and having that communication.
Yep. Well, Danielle, thank you so much for breaking that down.
Thank you.